Too soon? Hello everyone, Vink here. Welcome back to the channel. It's like I never left. Alright, first of all, I would like to apologize for my extended absence since my last video upload. I fully intended to record and upload the drawing session live, but specifically work intervened. Going into the last few months of this past year, work really began to monopolize my time, and then that snowballed into tons of overtime. It was a lot of time lost and tons of time to make up, but I'm changing my schedule, scaling back my workload with the emphasis on recommitting to the channel and uploading on a more regular schedule. That's the plan for 2022, starting with this video. This is part one of the inaugural drawing session of this channel, which is the Dragonheart. It is a dragon inspired by Draco from the movie Dragonheart. We'll be drawing lines, but then in part two of the drawing session, which is to be posted very soon, we'll be fully coloring the drawing and finalizing. So I'm starting with the eyes, as I always do with my drawings, which, by the way, I do not think is considered proper technique, and I hope it sounds like I'm making air quotations, because apparently from what I'd always read, you're supposed to start with the shape of the head when drawing, but starting with the eyes feels most natural to me, so it's always the first step of the progression when I'm drawing any design that happens to have eyeballs. And this might be backwards, but as a hardened, battle-tested, self-taught artist, I'm just kidding, it makes sense to me, which is I've found from personal experience that it's easier to control the proportions of the design if I establish the size of the eyes first. So I'm drawing them here. Simple shapes will do to start, and then I work outward from there to the general shape of the head and its facial features, and then graduate to the body thereafter. That tends to be how I sequence things in my process, but I encourage you to choose where it feels most natural for you to start, anatomically speaking, in drawing this dragon with me. But just don't blame me if you draw your eyes weird and it ends up being like a hybrid chicken looking thing. It's still on you, despite whatever way I showed you how I do it. It's trial and error, discovering design, as I like to say, but hey, we're having fun. We're here to grow together, but back to being serious. The horns are probably my favorite aspect of the Draco design, so I wanted to make sure to have that crossover prominently into my version as well. I had to speed the video up ×1 because I was spending too much time thinking a bit too much, which made me a bit tentative with my lines, which is unlike me because I can get into a smooth, prolific rhythm when freelancing. But I have a purpose and I have to stay focused as I'm trying to keep the design of Draco in mind and stay relatively true to the famous look of the dragon, as it is the inspiration for the drawing after all. I also can have a tendency to get locked in mentally, get ahead of myself, and shade entire sections at a time, leaving the rest of the drawing lacking for a while. But for a drawing session, I think it's better to separate the process into different stages. So I'm trying to stay disciplined and keep it to lines for now. Then we'll graduate to shading and then coloring from there. Granted, that is a bit of a rough line there. That is one of the disadvantages of drawing with a pen, because obviously erasing errant or wobbly lines is not an option. but in drawing, even with a line that you can't take back, I actually do not mind making a mistake, especially a minor one in real time, because there's always a way to manipulate it and turn it into something that can only add more character to the final design. You just have to be creatively adventurous and adjust, and ultimately make it seem as though you made the line on purpose because it's within the context of the design and it just seems to fit in the end. But that is its own journey and it is worth it. I enjoy that challenge. I consider these instances when I make a mistake an opportunity to grow as an artist because it becomes a problem-solving exercise that conditions you to be mentally nimble and to think outside of your own design and alternatively keep creating. In that mode, the focus is to salvage, so you have to be creatively agile, but you're coming up with it on the fly, and that is the freest way to draw. It's a situation that forces you to invent ways to mask your mistakes with finesse. You work that accidental line by willing it into the framework of the design, take it in a new direction, expand upon it until it is transformed, and it becomes something better, something by design, that you can incorporate that even benefits the art in a bigger picture sense. Like I say, I enjoy that challenge. I understand that's a whole lot of talking and not actually correcting the sloppy line under that leg in real time, but that's coming in part 2 of the video. But I do have a strong opinion about having an open mindset and being patient with the design and not giving up on it when you have a bad line or the design is not going in a place that you had intended. But I wanted to lay that out there, and I will actually put that philosophy into practice when I apply color and start shading in the next video. Unfortunately, my pre-haircut big hair gets in the way here, and it is hard for me to track the placement of my head at the time as I'm drawing, so I do apologize for this visual hindrance. It'll be better next time. Now I really get to have fun. I love drawing texture and unique patterns. It's something that I always discover in the moment, in real time, and it's creatively freeing. This is the most fun aspect of drawing for me. Oh yeah, all of the little details. This is when I'm really having fun. I am fabricating quite a bit of armor-like detail that obviously isn't evident in the original design, so I'm battling my instincts a little to try to make the dragon look more organic. I do represent some of that look without veering too much into what I normally do. I don't normally reference anything when I draw something. This is a rare exception, so I have to strike a very delicate balance between what I want it to look like and what the dragon is supposed to look like. Again, I'm tentative here because I'm not sure of exactly what shape to give certain details, what direction to give certain lines, but I do try for a healthy, cohesive balance of horizontal and vertical lines, for a more visually interesting effect rather than the sameness of so many lines going in parallel. Now, to a certain extent, I am trying to keep the maximum extent of my style from creeping fully into this design, so that it still remains recognizable and according to the source material. But it can be really difficult because my instincts take over and then it ends up looking too much like something that came directly from my weird imagination, which is fine under normal circumstances, but I don't want to push it to that extreme while referencing a particular image and having a clear image in my mind of what Draco is supposed to look like. As much as I would love to go crazy with this design, it still needs to look at least somewhat like Draco, so I'm trying to rein it in. I don't exactly know how much I'm succeeding at this, but at least I'm having fun. I don't want to get lost in creating too much fine detail, because that can make a design look way too busy. So I try to leave broader areas of more simple, softer, more vague lines that offset the minute detail to let it breathe in between. Now, I'm not in love with every creative choice that I make in real time, but it's important to work through it until something emerges that you like, that aligns with the idea that you had. It's a constant discovery, and that is what makes drawing so fun. But once you do make that creative choice, you need to commit to it and fully realize it. I'm figuring this all out as I'm going along. Thank you all for sharing the journey with me. So there it is, part 1 of our inaugural drawing session, just the lines for now. And at the end of the part 2 video is when I plan to invite you to please send me your submissions, your versions of the Draco Dragon, to have them highlighted in the following video. And get ready for a bunch of drawing sessions to follow. It's only the beginning. But if you have any particular theme of your own in mind, I welcome you to suggest it in the comment section. And now that we're friends again,